It's a lie. I swear on my father's crown, I don't know any of them. That was all Prince Juan could say, as 20 young girls, their bellies round like calabash, stood in front of the king's palace crying. The whole village of O'Dannel gathered. Some were whispering, some were screaming, some were laughing, but everybody was shocked. 20 girls from different parts of the land, all pregnant, all pointing fingers at the same person. Prince Juan, the only son of King Agbammabon. Prince Juan was just 22. Tall, handsome, and always smiling. He had the type of smile that made girls forget their home training. His skin was the color of roasted palm kernel. His voice was soft like morning rain, and his charm? Dangerous. Every girl wanted him, and he liked the attention. In fact, he was known as Juan the Sweet Mouth in the entire kingdom. Because if he spoke to you, you'd forget your name. But things changed one sunny morning. It was the festival of the drums. People were dancing, eating, and celebrating the gods. Suddenly, the palace guards started shouting, "Open the way! Make way for the women!" Before anyone could understand, 20 girls came marching forward. Their bellies were big. They were sweating. They looked tired but angry. The one leading them, Ada, stepped out and shouted, "I carry the prince's child." "And so do they." She pointed behind her, and all the girls nodded. The crowd went silent. Even the drummers stopped playing. King Agbammabon stood up in confusion. "My son, is this true?" Juan laughed. A soft laugh that shook the throne. "Father, I don't even know these girls. This is a setup. Someone is trying to destroy me." But one by one, the girls told their story. Ada said she met the prince during the yam harvest, when he promised to marry her after a secret dance behind the shrine. Zainab said she saw him by the river, where he gave her a bead necklace and told her she was his river queen. Chisholm said he met her during moonlight wrestling and whispered that her eyes were brighter than the stars. Aminat, Wayao, Tolu, Ngozi, the list continued. Different days, different places, but same story. Juan kept denying. His mother, Queen Mareo, held her head in shame. "How did we raise such a boy?" she cried. The chief priest was called. He carried his staff, his face painted with white chalk. He turned to the girls and asked, "If this is a lie, may your wombs be closed forever." But none of them flinched. They all touched their stomachs and shouted, "We are carrying royal blood." Something wasn't right. Later that night, while everyone was asleep, Queen Mareo secretly went to the oracle's cave. She wanted the truth. The oracle poured sand into fire and said, "The prince is hiding something. But not everything is as it seems." The next day, a mysterious girl named Ifyananya came forward. She was not pregnant, but she had a box in her hand. She said the box was given to her by Juan, and that it contained a secret only the prince could explain. The moment the box was opened, everyone gasped. Inside was a red feather, a small mirror, and a torn piece of cloth with a name written in charcoal. Nei. Prince Juan froze. He started sweating. He tried to speak, but his mouth was shaking. The king stood up and shouted, "Who is Nei?" Juan looked around, his hands shaking. He whispered, "Nei is not a person. Nei is a curse." The whole palace shook with confusion. "What do you mean Nei is a curse?" King Agbammabon's voice thundered through the palace walls. Prince Juan's lips were dry. His eyes looked lost, like someone who had seen a ghost. He dropped to his knees and whispered again, "Nei is a curse, a spirit that follows the men in our bloodline, a spirit that turns sweet dreams into bitter reality." The entire crowd was confused. Some were whispering, some were waiting for the full story. Even the queen, Queen Mareo, was holding her chest like her heart wanted to jump out. Then slowly, painfully, Juan began to talk. "When I turned 18, he said, I was taken to the sacred forest by the elders. They told me it was time to become a full man. I thought they would give me a royal sword, but instead they gave me something else. The red feather, the mirror, and the cloth with the name Nei. They said I must never lose it. That as long as I carried it, no woman would be able to resist me, and no one would ever say to me. They said it was our family's gift, a charm of attraction and power. I didn't want it, but they forced it on me. The moment I touched that feather, I started dreaming of women. Women I had never met. Women from other villages. Women who would smile at me in the dream and show up the next day at the palace. The crowd gasped. I didn't sleep with all of them, Juan continued. Some of them, but most of them I never touched. They just started showing up, pregnant, saying I was responsible. Tears rolled down his cheeks. I swear, I don't know how this is happening. I don't even remember some of their names. Suddenly, Ada, the first pregnant girl who had spoken earlier, stood up. She held her stomach and said, "My baby doesn't kick at night. But when I sleep, I dream of a man in black with a red feather." Another girl, Tulu, nodded. "Yes, he comes in the dream, then my stomach grows. I thought it was the prince. I thought I was blessed. But no, I'm scared." The whole village became quiet again. It was no longer just about pregnancy. It was now about spiritual manipulation. The chief priest returned, holding a bigger staff this time. He chanted, closed his eyes, and then screamed, "The spirit of Nei has entered these girls through dreams." The prince opened the door. But the spirit is the one planting the seed. Everyone trembled. A few fainted. Queen Moreo fell on the floor and cried, "Why didn't we destroy the feather? Why didn't we end this curse when we had the chance?" The king's face turned dark. He walked slowly to Juan, looked him in the eye, and said, "My son, you are no longer safe in this palace. Until this curse is broken, you must leave." That night, Prince Juan was secretly taken out of the kingdom by 2 loyal guards. He wore a brown wrapper, no crown, no shoes. He didn't know where he was going. He didn't know if he'd return. But he knew one thing. He had to find the origin of Nei and destroy it before it destroyed the entire kingdom. As he walked into the forest, the moon disappeared behind the clouds. A cold wind blew. From behind the trees, a whisper came. "I am not done with you." Prince Juan walked deep into the forest. The trees were tall, the leaves were whispering, and every step felt like a step away from everything he ever knew. He was no longer the smiling prince. No guards, no gold, no power, just fear and guilt and a curse following him like a shadow. His only mission: find the origin of Nei, destroy it, save the girls, free himself. He walked until his legs bled. He slept under trees. He drank water from leaves. Mosquitoes bit him. Wild animals sniffed him. But something kept him moving, the voice of the unborn children crying in his head. Then on the 7th night, he saw a fire, a small one, burning in the shape of a bird. He followed it. That's when he met Baba Kenzie, the old hunter of spirits. Baba Kenzie had one blind eye and one sharp ear. His beard was white like cotton, and his walking stick had carvings of snakes and spiders. He didn't look surprised when Juan arrived. "I've been waiting," Baba Kenzie said in a voice that sounded like the wind. "You know me?" Juan asked. "I know Nei," he replied. "And I know he has found a new home inside you." Juan fell to his knees. "Please help me. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." The hunter looked at him carefully. "You didn't hurt them," he said. "The spirit used your weakness against you. That feather, it belonged to the first prince of your bloodline, the one who betrayed the gods for pleasure. Since then, Nei has moved from sun to sun, using charm to destroy destiny. If you want to break the curse," Baba Kenzie said, "you must pass 3 tests. The test of truth, where you must face your real self. The test of sacrifice, where you must lose what you love. The test of blood, where you must meet the first prince, even if he's already dead." Juan nodded. "I will do anything." Baba Kenzie gave him a black stone and said, "Tonight, you will face the first test. Do not run. Do not scream. And whatever you see, do not lie." That night, Juan sat inside a small circle of fire, holding the black stone. Suddenly, the wind stopped. The trees froze. And from the fire, a shadow came out. It looked like Juan, same face, same smile. But the eyes were red, and it laughed in a wicked voice. "You think you're innocent?" the shadow asked. "You liked the attention. You enjoyed the praise. You wanted to be worshipped." "No," Juan said. You used your smile like a knife. You used your words like a trap. No, stop. You never said no to the girls. You only said no when the babies came. Juwan's heart was shaking, but he knew this was the test. I was wrong, he whispered. I let my pride speak louder than my heart. I should have stopped. I should have said no. The shadow screamed, and then it disappeared into smoke. When Juwan woke up, Baba Kenzie was waiting. You passed the first test, he said, but the second will break your heart. Juwan stood up slowly. His body felt heavy, but he was ready. Tell me, he said, what must I do? Baba Kenzie looked deep into the forest and whispered, you must sacrifice the only person who truly loves you. Juwan blinked. Who? From behind the trees, someone stepped forward. It was Ada, the first girl who accused him, the one who carried his supposed child. Tears were running down her face. I followed you, she said, because I believe you're not a monster. Juwan's heart broke. Then Baba Kenzie said one thing that made the sky go silent. To break the curse, she must drink the blood from the red feather. Juwan looked at Ada. Ada looked at him. The baby inside her moved. The forest waited. The sky was dark, not because it was night, but because something heavy had entered the forest. Prince Juwan stood frozen. Ada, the pregnant girl, was now kneeling in front of him. Baba Kenzie, the spirit hunter, placed the red feather on a flat stone, and beside it, a small calabash knife, old and shaking like it knew something terrible was about to happen. Then Baba Kenzie said it again. To break the curse of Nei, she must drink the blood from the red feather. Juwan's lips trembled. But she's carrying a child. Baba Kenzie shook his head slowly. Not a child, a gate. If the curse is not broken now, Nei will be born through her. Ada gasped. She touched her stomach, scared. You mean, my baby is not real? Baba Kenzie looked into her eyes. The spirit made you believe it was love. But it was a trap. Tears rolled down Ada's cheeks. But I truly loved him. I didn't care about being a queen. I didn't care about the palace. I only wanted his heart. Juwan was already crying. He remembered how Ada was the only girl who waited at the palace gate when he was sick. How she brought him fresh fruit. How she once said, even if you're not a prince, you're enough for me. And now, he had to hurt her. He picked up the feather. It felt warm, like it was alive. Then he picked the calabash knife. Ada, he whispered, if you drink this blood, you might lose the baby. You might forget me. You might never be the same. She looked at him with swollen eyes and said, if it will save you and save the other girls, I will drink it. Baba Kenzie chanted strange words. The fire turned blue. The birds stopped singing. Juwan pressed the knife on his finger, let the blood drip on the red feather, and squeezed the feather until the blood soaked through. The feather began to hiss like a snake. Ada opened her mouth. She drank the blood on the feather. And then, she screamed. Her body shook. Her eyes turned white. Her stomach jumped like something inside was trying to escape. Then she fell still, quiet. No sound. Juwan rushed to her. Ada! Ada! Please wake up. He shook her. He begged. He cried. But she didn't move. Baba Kenzie came closer and placed his hand on her chest. Then he looked up. And what he said next froze Juwan's soul. She's not dead, but she's not here anymore. Suddenly, the wind began to spin. From behind the trees, a tall shadow appeared. It wore a black robe. Its face was covered with red dust. Its voice was like thunder underwater. You dare fight me? Baba Kenzie stood up fast. Nei, he shouted. Your time is up. But Nei laughed. You took my gate, so I will take his heart. The spirit pointed at Juwan. Before anyone could speak, Juwan fell flat on the ground. His eyes rolled back. His hands began to burn with marks shaped like feathers. Baba Kenzie shouted, he's entering the final test. Juwan woke up inside a dark room. No walls, no ceiling, just black. Then he saw a man sitting on a throne made of broken mirrors. The man looked exactly like him, but older, with red eyes and a wicked smile. I am the first prince, the man said. I am the beginning of the curse, and you, my son, are the end. Juwon stood slowly. He could hear Ada's voice echoing from far away. Fight for us, don't let him win. He clenched his fist. And just as he was about to speak, the man on the throne threw something at him. It was a crown, covered in blood. The bloody crown landed at Prince Juwon's feet, pulsed like it was breathing. The red jewels on it were not stones, they were eyes. Small, blinking eyes. Watching him, judging him. And on that throne of broken mirrors sat Nei, the first prince, the one who betrayed the gods, the one who started it all. Put it on, Nei said with a smile. If you wear this crown, you'll never feel pain again. No guilt, no shame, no nightmares. Just power. Women will worship you. Men will fear you. Kingdoms will fall at your feet. Juwon stared at it. He thought of Ada, lying lifeless under that tree. He thought of the 20 girls, carrying unborn spirits. He thought of his mother, Queen Mireo, and how her tears felt heavier than any crown. And then he picked up the crown. No, he whispered. I won't be like you. He threw the crown into the darkness. Suddenly, the entire black room shook. The mirrors on the throne began to crack. Nei stood up, his voice turning into a beast's roar. You dare reject me? Then, he charged at Juwon. The two clashed, fist to fist. Shadow against soul. Spirit against prince. 4 hours they fought in that dream world. Juwon was bleeding, limping, crying, but still standing. Then Nei grabbed his neck and whispered, If I can't have you, I'll take everything from you. Outside the dream, Baba Kenzie was shouting, Fight him, Juwon, fight. You're our last hope. But Juwon's body was turning cold. His skin was changing, red feathers were growing out of his arms. His eyes opened slowly, and one was no longer his. It was Nei's. Baba Kenzie screamed, He's losing. We must stop him before Nei fully takes over. Ada, who had not spoken for hours, suddenly gasped. She sat up, holding her chest. And then she whispered one final thing. If you kill him, the curse dies with him. Baba Kenzie froze. Kill Juwon? The last prince? The one who tried to save them? Juwon's voice changed. He started laughing. But it was not his laugh. Too late, he said. I'm home now. Baba Kenzie walked forward, tears running down his old cheeks. He held the calabash knife. He looked at Juwon one last time. Forgive me, my son. He drove the knife into Juwon's heart. The sky turned black. Lightning struck the forest. All 20 girls screamed in pain, and then their bellies went flat. The curse was broken. But so was Juwon. He fell with a smile. One last tear rolled down his face. Back in the village of O'Dannel, a statue was built in front of the palace. Not of a king, not of a god, but of a boy with a torn heart, a broken soul, and a red feather in his hand. Children grew up asking, Who was he? And the elders would reply, He was the prince who tried to fix a curse, but became its final sacrifice.